Have you ever caught yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough"? That silent doubt that creeps in when you see others succeeding while you feel like you're barely holding on. You're not alone. In fact, the quiet war you wage within yourself every day is one that even Roman emperors fought. But Marcus Aurelius, yes, the most powerful man of his time, found a way not just to cope, but to lead with clarity, purpose, and strength. You are not the start of your story. You are the living pulse of generations, an unbroken chain of survivors and strivers who weathered storms, endured losses, outlasted plagues, and walked through fire without today's tools, but with something deeper: resolve. You stand here not by chance, but because of that indomitable spirit. It's in your blood, in your bones, a legacy not of just DNA, but of will. You are the heir not only to life, but to perseverance. Your mind is your sharpest edge, honed not by ease, but by challenge. Your body, while sometimes weary, is a vessel capable of navigating the roughest paths with grace and grit. That is why you must protect it, feed it, honor it. Fuel your body with discipline and your mind with purpose. When storms rage and you lose your way, when the world feels too loud, remember this: you are mightier than the mountain ahead. You are stronger than the voice of doubt within or the judgment cast by others. When darkness closes in and the way forward is unclear, speak this truth aloud: I am forged by fire. I am sustained by endurance. I don't need validation. I know my path. I know who I am becoming. Let your inner voice be a guide, not a barrier. Each word of belief you whisper is a hammer against the walls built by fear, by failure, by the forgetfulness of your own power. This isn't about perfection. It's about remembrance. Every time you choose belief over doubt, your real voice grows stronger. 1. The modern crisis of self-doubt. Let's begin with something painfully real. Every day, millions of people battle a quiet war, not against others, but against themselves. You may know the feeling. You want to start something new, apply for that dream job, speak your mind, walk away from a toxic situation. But something inside says, who are you to do that? It's not the world that stops us, it's our beliefs about ourselves. This voice, this inner critic, is relentless. It whispers doubts, magnifies fears, and paints failure as inevitable. It tells us that we don't deserve success, happiness, or respect. But here's the thing: that voice is not the truth. It's a habit, a conditioned reaction that we can change. And this is where Stoicism shines. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't live in peaceful times. They weren't writing philosophy from vacation villas with soft jazz playing. They wrote it in war, exile, and political chaos. And despite all this, they didn't crumble. Why? Because they practiced a way of thinking that empowered them to move through adversity, not by changing the world, but by changing their response to it. They taught us that the battlefield is not out there, it's inside our minds. 2. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who doubted himself. Let me tell you a story about Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. When Marcus became emperor of Rome, he didn't want the throne. He was a thoughtful, introspective man, not a warrior or politician by nature. In Meditations, he wrote, "Don't waste time arguing what a good man should be one." That sounds strong, But beneath that sentence is a man who constantly reminded himself to live up to an ideal, not because he thought he was already great, but because he feared falling short. Marcus struggled with self-doubt. He worried about living rightly, about losing control, about becoming corrupted by power. His private journal, the Meditations, was not a triumphant boast. It was a daily reminder to himself to stay grounded, humble, and committed to virtue. He wrote things like, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This wasn't arrogance. It was survival, a mindset, a belief system that said, even if I don't feel ready, I can still act with wisdom. Imagine an emperor, burdened with the fate of millions, questioning his own worth every day. And yet, he kept going, not because he was fearless, but because he learned to embrace his fears and doubts as part of the process. Part 3. The Stoic Formula for Self-Belief. So, what did Marcus and the other Stoics actually do to overcome this fear of inadequacy? They followed 3 core principles. 1. Control what you can. The Stoics divided life into 2 domains: what is within your control and what is not. Your job, your health, other people's opinions, those are only partially in your control. But your effort, your values, your reactions, that is your kingdom. Rule it. Every time you feel inadequate, remind yourself, you may not control the outcome, but you control your character. It's easy to fall into despair when things don't go your way. But focusing on your reactions is empowering. It turns you from a victim of circumstance into an active participant in your life. 2. Live according to virtue. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This isn't about comparing yourself to others. It's about aligning your actions with your values: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you do that, you become proud of who you are, not because of your achievements, but because of your integrity. This means making choices that reflect your true self, even when no one is watching. It's a daily commitment to be better, not perfect. 3. View challenges as training. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." The Stoics didn't run from challenges, they welcomed them as training grounds. If you feel small, it's not because you are small, it's because you're not seeing the value of the challenge in front of you. The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. Every hardship is a chance to grow, to build resilience, and to become someone stronger. 4. A modern example. Overcoming fear in the digital age. Let's bring this into modern life. Meet Sarah. She's 28, smart, kind, creative, but she's terrified of speaking up in meetings. She thinks, everyone else knows more than me. What if I say something stupid? So she stays silent. But then she reads Marcus Aurelius. She reads this: "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." And something clicks. She realizes her fear is not about others. It's about forgetting who she is. So she starts small. 1 comment, 1 question, 1 suggestion. Not to impress others, but to practice courage. And over time, she begins to trust herself. Not because the fear disappears, but because she chooses to act despite it. That is Stoicism in action. Here's a key insight. Courage is not the absence of fear, It's the willingness to act in spite of fear. The Stoics knew that well. You don't have to be loud or bold, you just have to be consistent. 5. Your power rediscovered. Right now, you might be underestimating yourself. You might think that you're not brave enough, smart enough, or strong enough to face what's ahead. But let me offer you a different truth. You are not too small for the world. You have everything within you to live with dignity, resilience, and purpose. Not because life is easy, but because you can choose how to meet it. Remember what Marcus Aurelius wrote: "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." You are not your doubts. You are your choices. You might not control the outcome of every situation, but you can always choose how to respond. This choice is your true power. 6. Practical steps to cultivate Stoic self-belief. Let's get practical. How do you start? Journal daily. Write down one moment where you faced doubt and how you responded. Reflect on what you learned. Set micro goals. Take small actions that align with your values. It could be as simple as speaking your truth once a day. Reframe obstacles. When you encounter difficulty, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow? Practice mindfulness. Become aware when the inner critic speaks. Don't believe every thought. Treat thoughts like clouds. Watch them pass. Remember impermanence. This moment of doubt will pass. Your feelings are temporary. Your values are permanent. Stoicism isn't about being perfect or emotionless. It's about cultivating resilience and clarity in a messy world. It's a practice, a daily commitment. If Marcus Aurelius could face war, betrayal, and the weight of an empire and still remain true to himself, then you too can rise above self-doubt. Not by being perfect, but by being present, by embracing your humanity and your power. If this video helped you see yourself a little differently, if it gave you even a moment of clarity, consider subscribing. This channel is dedicated to helping you live with Stoic wisdom in the chaos of modern life. Drop a comment below. What's one area of your life where you've underestimated yourself? Let's reflect, support each other, and grow together. Until next time, remember,